Welcome to Gardening with Granny. Today I'm outside on my deck and you can see one of my green stalks right in the background. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about my herb garden. So stay tuned. So it's welcome to Gardening with Granny, the June herb garden. So we're going to start out. This is my ugly metal garden shed. And we're going to start out with, this is the cathedral bell that I started from seed. I actually had to clip the edge of the seed and put it in a wet paper towel in a plastic bag. And it took about 2 weeks for a little bit of a sprout to form and another 2 weeks for me to feel comfortable putting it in a gentle potting soil with some vermiculite. And it took a long time, but it finally created a plant. And I was eventually able to bring it outside and put it in this pot where it will stay and hopefully climb and fill in this space. I also had some pretty bad luck with the morning glory, so I bought this plant, and it's a pink morning glory with variegated leaves, and I'm excited to see this area fill in. Next to it is a butterfly bush, and you will see it probably in the next one. So here's the explanation of what I just mentioned. And my hopes for this is the Canterbury bells will fill in and look lush. So next to the butterfly bush, which is not yet in bloom, is this beautiful hibiscus. We call it a Michigan hibiscus, but it's basically a perennial hibiscus, not just for Michigan. And then down here is my sage, and it's in bloom, and next to it is Artemisia. Now, this is my herb garden and often considered my medicine chest. So there's a lot of wonderful value in the plants that grow in this garden. And I have a plethora of videos talking about the medicinal and culinary benefits of these herbs. Behind that is a Shasta daisy that is going to be bursting in bloom shortly. So these are some of the blooms, the way they look. This is called the big red hardy hibiscus. And then also tucked in the corner there is the eye candy hibiscus. And it's really interesting because you don't realize that these plants survive the winter until almost the end of June. Then you finally see that they've come up. And that's the way the Shasta daisy will look eventually. And then throughout the garden, I have comfrey, and comfrey has a ton of benefits. It is used medicinally. It can be used as a chop and drop for you can mulch your garden with. And then this is a little watering can that my granddaughter Jessica made for me. I absolutely love. I also have some dahlias in grow bags throughout the garden. You can see there's a grow bag here. And then there's a lemon mint or lemon balm, and its botanical name is called Melissa officinalis. And it has a wonderful benefits. And I do have an entire video on that. Also there, you'll see a pot with rosemary in it. And each year I try to bring it in, and by Christmas, it's nothing but needles. But this year, I'm going to try to propagate it. So hopefully, wish me luck, and we'll see if that happens. There's a yarrow. This is a red yarrow called Millie Rock, and then there's common yarrow. And the yarrow is used for stopping bleeding. It's a wonderful herb, very, very beneficial. You might be able to see senna. This is a lovely leaf. It has a really pretty yellow flower, and in one of my recent videos in Health to Home, I talked about the benefits of senna. So you can just barely see the senna. And next to it is a trio of marjoram, thyme, and oregano. And behind that trio is horseradish. Now, horseradish can be pretty bold. You might have to try to remove some of the stems. It likes to be used, and so one has to be quite careful where you're growing it. I also have some elephant garlic growing back here. I think it might be more visible in another slide. This is tansy. It also has a lovely flat yellow disc flower when it blooms. And I love it. I love the fern look of it. And it too was highlighted in a recent video I did. And below the blue gazing ball is the my bush of chives. I have harvested both the chives and the chive flowers and have made vinegar out of the chive flowers and freeze dried the chives. And so that harvest is done. Next to that is the flat bladed is the garlic chives. And I think that might be more visible in another, well, not quite this video. So there's the garlic, elephant garlic. And I might point out, this is my barbecue planter. And I transitioned gas barbecue into this planter about 20 years ago. And it's still growing strong. And this year I put begonias, wax begonias in there, but this is Sweet William. And if you looked at the Winter Sowing project, there were 4 Sweet William that developed in the white jugs. Behind it is chamomile. I've also harvested the chamomile, and it is drying. I'll show you a picture of that in a few minutes. There's the garlic chives as it rings the base of the juniper bush. Juniper berries are very beneficial. Some people might know it just for gin, but it does have some really beneficial effects. There's curly parsley in the basket structure. And mint has grown all over this garden. Behind it is some more comfrey. And this is what a picture from the Winter Sowing project, and that's what the chamomile looked like. I was thrilled with some of the project results. The chamomile was amazing. I have snapdragons that I grew in the Winter Sowing project, and they're in another video where they're planted where my grapes are. And I will be doing, they're not quite in bloom yet, but they're looking very healthy, and I'm very pleased with them. And then this is the harvest of the basically the bloom heads of chamomile. And I will be making tea with that. So drying Roman chamomile, I really did not use my dehydrator. It's been so warm that I just put them out on a paper towel in my sunroom, and within 24 hours they were dry. So I hope you've enjoyed this particular type of venue. I it is very difficult for me. I don't have a regular camera. I just use my phone. And there's so many noises. We have an airport near us. We have trains near us. And we have cement trucks. And now we live on a lake and we have boat noises. So this was a way that I was able to deal with creating a video that you could understand what I was saying without all the noises. So until next time, thank you for viewing. I hope this was helpful and enjoyable. Until next time, this is Gardening with Granny.